Well, the palm tree's nice.
Yeah, the palm tree's working.
There you go, guys. Welcome to the Nexus Ecosystem AMA live with Peter
Tuesday
Ganner.
night, what is it? 3:14. So we moved it from noon till today because we were busy, had lots of meetings, lots of things going on in the world. I mean, we should probably give a little clap. Bitcoin went to over 26, sitting a little over 25. That was nice. Nice little run up when people got a little scared of the traditional banking system and found out that inflation stayed at 6%. It shot up and began to recover. So we know that with what happened today, that right circumstances and boom, we're going to have another bull run on our hands. And, a lot of these things will start going to new all-time highs, lots of stuff. But in the meantime, I don't know that date. I don't know that time frame. So what we do is just get up every day and we work towards helping build an infrastructure, resources, things that are necessary in order for us to move things forward, including partnerships and contacts and connections and things that we're working on. So today we actually had the next alpha version of Otherverse. We were able to download it and go in there and play around a little bit. And just wow, right? So we've been looking at some other metaverse. Matter of fact, I was on earlier with somebody and I took them to Decentraland and I took them to Sandbox and I took them to Polkadot has a metaverse that they're really promoting right now at South by Southwest, right? Spent a lot of money, set up fancy booths, and they spent a lot of time promoting this metaverse. And I showed them those, and then of course showed them Otherverse, and they were like, they're not even in the same category, right? This is Decentraland, valued over $1 billion. Sandbox, I believe, is still over $1 billion right now, market cap. The other one doesn't have a token out at this point. But here it is. These are major players in the space, right? I mean, Polkadot, they've done a lot at the South by Southwest, set up a pretty big display and situation there. So, they had to sit down and go, okay, what are our best projects to show people, to put people involved with it? And they showed this metaverse. And if you're a kid and, you want to go play a game, then maybe, but as a serious business opportunity, and even at that, right, the quality between the two was just so vast. It's just absolutely amazing. So we're getting excited about that. Had another meeting that with a group of people that we believe will bring in lots. Now, I don't know if you guys have had a chance to go out to a little thing called OpenSea and check out. If you were able to purchase one of the trunks for Otherverse, could you put a 1 in the chat? And what was the purchase price that we did those Otherverse NFTs at, I believe? Can someone, what was it? 0.35, was it I don't remember, 0.35 ETH, right? So it's about $400 or $500, right? I'm gonna, let me pull this up. Because this is what it's about. It's about updates and, are we making some progress in areas? So let's go here. Let me share here. My thing is running a little bit slow right now. Let's go here and we'll share our screen. And so this is on OpenSea. We're going to click here. We're going to go to the other trunks. And we are going to see that right now, the floor price is 0.9 ETH for them. And not only is it a floor price, but you can go to activity and you can see that over the last 6 or 7 days, several have sold. This one sold for $1,715, 514. That was probably a mistake somebody made. 1561, $2,179, and at the current price of ETH, so that was 1.279, 1 ETH. So these are actual purchases that have been taking place, guys, on the marketplace. So you can see there was one that sold for 0.5 ETH, which was about $800 right now, probably 600 or 700 at that time. But in this time frame here, from 6 to 5 days ago, of course, people started coming in and saying, you know what, we think these are going to be extremely valuable. If Dawn is able to get done on the demo today, we did some filming. She's cut something down to a couple of minutes to show you guys a little bit on the inside of the metaverse. But if she showed the parkway, what I wanted to point out was that there's a stage there, and behind that is going to be the building. That's going to be, there's a building there right now, but it'll be retrofitted, that building. And it will be the building where anybody who owns one of these trunks will end up with their apartment in there. So this is the main center. This is where bands will come play and dance contests and all kinds of great events will take place. Festivals, fairs, those type of things will take place in this area. Fashion shows, all types of things. And the way it's going to be set up is right behind the stage is where this building's going to be. And everything, because it's digital, all the apartments will be on the city center view of this, and you'll be able to walk out on your porch or to your window, and you'll be able to actually visualize and see the concert or anything that's taking place down in there. So that is, if you own a trunk, you already own the apartment. You just don't know if you have a luxury one or if you have like the penthouse, super suite, right? And the size of it will depend on how many people it can hold. Regular apartment might hold 4, 5, 6 people, where a penthouse you can have 50 people come visit, 70 people have a party, those type of things. So, and there's 4 levels of apartments. So, and that's the reason why some people got a chance to peek at some of what's going on, and they said, you know what, I need to own one of those apartments as well as the other airdrop. So I don't know if everybody understood that when you own this trunk, so you get the trunk and you're going to keep the trunk, but at some point that trunk will be opened up and 5 to 12 other NFTs will pop out of it. And then those will be clothes, visual effects, jewelry, all different types of things. They're all individual NFTs. So you'll get this batch of NFTs. And then on top of that, the next drop will be the apartments, 14,444 apartments. And there will be levels of this. Now, the cool thing is initially this first set of NFTs was going to be 3,333. Right now with the treasury, it says 520, but the treasury ones are not in there. So this is going to be about 620 total that have been distributed. The balance of those will actually not be. This is 50 more. So about 570 will be the Gen 1 trunks. The balance are going to be sold as Gen 2 trunks. The cool part about it is if you have a Gen 1 trunk, you're twice as likely to get a penthouse apartment than if you get a Gen 2 NFT. Also, there'll be an additional item that only the Gen 1 trunks will get and the Gen 2 trunks will not get. So, and of course, the price is going to go up a little bit on the Gen 2 trunks. So if you have a Gen 1 trunk, you are absolutely set. I don't know where this floor price will be, but this was just a small boost out in the marketplace. I believe in the next run, especially once people see how Otherverse is going to operate, this is just the beginning of where it's at. I'm not a financial advisor, not giving financial advice. I just believe I own a couple of them. I own a male and a female trunk, so which I purchased myself. And because I believe in the project, I got a good chance because they're both Gen 1s to get myself a penthouse apartment in there. And then I can rent it out for parties or, just, eventually have somebody go, I have to be in the city center. And they go, oh, I'll give you 100 ETH for your apartment. And I'll be like, oh, man, ETH is only at $5,000 right now. It's only $500,000 for the apartment, but I guess I'll let it go. Because $500,000 for 600 or whatever is pretty good, right? So then I would go ahead and let that go. So and again, there's a lot of them that'll have floor prices that have never sold anything. This is the actual floor price, right? The average of what is sold, and you can see that there was a tremendous amount of activity here that shot it up from here all the way to here. So the average sale price there was 0.86 ETH with 8 sales in this short period of time. So very cool, making progress there on Otherverse with the development of it. We believe we just brought on a sovereign partner today. That's all being put together that will build in the metaverse. The great thing is it's a network marketing company that has, I believe, 100,000 people worldwide. They want to start doing all of their events, their trainings, their onboarding. So their onboarding is several hundred people a week into their company. They'll have that training in the metaverse. So they'll say, hey, download this piece of software, you download it on your computer, and then they will have that meeting and they'll run those trainings inside of that event. We also have Blockchain Alliance, which will be promoting Otherverse. So we believe that it'll bring in thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people eventually into the metaverse, into Otherverse. So more than ever, we're convinced that it will be the #1 metaverse, not the only metaverse, right? Because there'll be lots of different flavors out there. The good part is Otherverse is not just a metaverse, it's a infrastructure for the metaverses. So in the way that it was built, 1 million metaverses can be built within the ecosystem of Otherverse. So, there might be somebody who, and I don't know where it came from, but I think it was last night I was talking about squirrels, right? Let's say there were people out there that are just in love with squirrels, right? And they just love looking at the little cute things. They got their little statues around the house. They got pictures of squirrels. Maybe they have a pet squirrel. So they want to belong to a squirrel metaverse. So somebody will be able to come along and say, I want to start a squirrel metaverse. They'll get in there and they'll use the tools to go develop and build, or they'll hire from a slate of developers that they can say, hey, I want to build a squirrel metaverse. Can you do this? And they'll pay somebody and they'll go build it. And then what they'll be able to do is invite their people to become part of the squirrel metaverse. They'll have free and, of course, a paid version, right? The membership version, which we have. When they come in there, what'll happen is the way that Otherverse works is there's a browser, and that browser can help them get all around the squirrel metaverse, right? But also they don't only like squirrels, but they have other interests out there, right? They're pickleball players, right? So they actually love squirrels so much in pickleball that when they go to the pickleball, they bring their pet squirrel with them, right? So little cage sitting there, a little leash around the squirrel's neck, and they tie it to a little bench and they go play pickleball and the squirrel watches. And I mean, it's just a beautiful thing, right? So now that they do is they go, oh, I want to be part of a pickleball community. They just have to go to the browser and put in pickleball metaverse, and it will literally connect them with that using their ID from the squirrel metaverse into the pickleball metaverse. The neat part about it is when somebody goes into, let's say they go to the pickleball one, and there's going to be, I don't know if you guys know this, but Corey, one of these days, will probably be like the #1 ranked pickleball player in the world, right? He hasn't had time because he's been working so much, but when his time is free, he's going to go. One of his goals, I believe, is to go become the pickleball champion of the world. So he does, and let's say he's going to give a course in the pickleball one on how he became this famous, the best pickleball player in the world. What'll happen is and he spent, that's $30. So of course, he's got to get the UTHEX token in order to then pay the $30 for the event, which Corey, will get a piece of, and the pickleball platform will get a piece of, but also the squirrel sovereign metaverse will get a piece of that action, right? That's why people will go build metaverses in Otherverse, because they're going to be incentivized that if they went out on their own and built just a metaverse standing by itself, then all they have is the business that they generate themselves. But if they build it in part of an ecosystem, right? Kind of like building a Shopify store, right? There's tools, there's different things that are built. So that's Otherverse in a nutshell of being able to build eventually 300,000-400,000 different metaverses around the world, different languages, different things, but yet allowing people to connect together and be a part of it. So That's an exciting part about what they're doing, and it's getting very close, guys. On our call today, Brian was talking about within 90 days to 120 days that being able for this company that we brought on board, that they will be able to start having, group 100 group people meetings, and then build from there over the next few months. So it's going to be exciting to probably in the next maybe 6 to 8 weeks, we'll start taking some small groups through. It'll start with some of the people that were able to accredited investors in the US and over that were able to participate in the token offering. The next phase will be anybody who bought a membership. We'll get them in there for demos for you to look through it. And then of course, you guys are in the front of the line for being beta testers. So as soon as it goes live on beta, before it goes out to the rest of the world, if you've purchased a membership package, you'll be able to get in there. You'll be able to get your name registered early. It's like, I want to do a little commercial that like, hey, get another verse package, because then you don't have to be Bob 742, right? You could just be Bob, right? That's just get in early, get your membership package, and just be Bob, right? Because it's much easier to tell people, hey, go to Otherverse, I'm Bob, than Bob, 9,368, right? So, all right. And you are not going to want to miss the pickleball community, the metaverse, and you just want to be Bob at the pickleball membership. Okay. So we saw some cool things today, some of the stuff that's built in the software where you can have an event. Let's say you have a party of 200, 300, 400 people dance thing, and they're dancing. You can do random contests right there on the spot. Just put in a code in the chat, and it will randomly pick somebody on the dance floor for them to win, some UTHEX tokens or, free whatever or this or that. So a lot of very cool things that'll gamify the entire experience. But anyway, we can't wait for that to begin to roll out and demo. Dawn is trying to edit down about 2 minutes of our walkthrough today. I don't have permission to show it, but I'm going to show it anyway, kind of thing. It's what I do, right? But hopefully she'll be able to get the editing. She's having a little bit of issues. If we don't show it today, we'll show it next week. We'll be in the evening time too next week on that side of it. So we're continuing to make progress on the project that we're building out for TruBadger, for SafuFied. NSI, of course, continues to make great progress in its trading. I believe it's going to be bringing on another 300-400 people here in the next 7 days or so to start trading in that. Our relationship between Blockchain Alliance and Insights and Digibot is going extremely well. APIs being built, contracts being signed, all that stuff for Blockchain Alliance to drive NSI token by driving up the usage, right? Because it's a utility token. So the more people using the platform, then the more people that are holding the token, and of course, more people that are interested in the token that are acquiring it for the long run on that side of it. The neat thing is that NSI, which of course, this will go to a vote to the NSI community, the NSI holders as a DAO. I believe that with the revenue that can come in off of the fees, the usage fees, that within, who knows, 6 months to a year and a half, whatever that period of time is, that the tax can be either reduced down to just a couple percent. And this is a reason for possibly holding for people. Right now you buy 10% tax, sell 10% tax. But think about that tax going down to 2% or maybe even 0 at some point. So if you hold it longer, you're getting right now some reflection on it. And eventually the reason why that can happen is the revenue from the memberships are able to run the day-to-day operation, pay back some type of a reflection. So all the function is still there. It just doesn't need that revenue coming in off of the tax. So that's able to get reduced. So for the people that didn't sell and kept their tokens, now they can cash it out. You're going to get more for them, right? So that's where we're at right now. Okay, so I'm going to answer some questions because we have some. How is it coming on renting out MMA and Otherverse props? How is it coming on putting in? Okay, so the NFTs in the rental and Otherverse, that will be a third-party function. It's something that I've already talked to Brian about. We will probably be early pioneers in starting the Nexus rental, whatever. I don't know what we'll call it at this point. It'll be something that we'll vote on as a community. Once we understand it and it's ready to go, that'll be one of our goals. So then you could rent out the clothing that comes in your trunk. You can rent out your apartment and all that stuff. Brian believes that that's something that should be left for the ecosystem to do. And once we do it in the main Otherverse, then we would make it to where it would be a plug and play in all the other metaverses that are being developed. And there'll be a revenue share on it and stuff like that on rental revenue between us, the metaverse, Otherverse, and then the person who owns that metaverse. So that is one of the areas that we are going to help pioneer once it is ready to go. And we'll have it pretty much done very close to whenever the beta is fully up and running in that type of stuff. So just depending on it. Okay, how is it coming on putting NFTs in the safe? That is a Dawn question right there. I'm going to leave that for her to answer here shortly. I know a lot of our NFTs are on Polygon, so we've got to be able to, they got to bridge over to Binance in order to put them in the safe. But we are also getting ready to add some other additional chains to the safe. I just don't know where that's at. We have a few other priorities that we're working on right now. Just so everybody knows, with like Otherverse, Blockchain Alliance, we're doing a lot of their technology stuff. So their NFTs, so going from a Gen 1 to Gen 2 trunks, the next batch of trunks, all of that tech stuff we're handling and doing, as well as we're facilitating the referral program for Otherverse for the packages. So when you sell a package, it's 2-level affiliate program, 7.5%, 5%. We built the software that's handling that technology, as well as we're running the site. When you go to Otherverse, it actually takes you to one of our sites, which is where you actually purchase the packages. We're handling the revenue that's coming in, paying out the commissions, and then handling all the customer service and stuff like that. So those are projects that are taking a lot of time. That's the reason why, TruBadger, when the token comes out, has over 9 million Otherverse tokens that it holds in its treasury. It doesn't hold them yet because they haven't been issued yet, but we have an agreement that that's how many tokens will go to there, as well as Safufied holds tokens, as well as Crypto Gods. When that happens, will hold tokens. Crypto Gods provided some of the funding that it's taken to develop all the software and build all the stuff, the IDO platform, all the different things that we've done. And then, of course, TruBadger has provided support as well. So this is for supporting the project, moving it forward. And so that's where we're at with that. Any information, MetaDistrict on coins or stuff for the month. So on the MetaDistrict, guys, we're going to look at that. And as soon as, so there's no tokens that are coming out. So when we launched the MetaDistrict, of course, we didn't know there's going to be an 18-month bear market. And so I distributed some tokens already. As soon as we have it, so right now, we were going to do the Stardom token that hasn't launched yet. We will be giving some Otherverse tokens. I don't know the quantity yet towards anybody who had a membership there. And of course, we've got to get back to doing tokens again, and then we'll be able to issue some tokens there. We may do something with some Muon tokens, a small quantity of those. I just have to get, the market's got to change. So the bear market really changes the dynamics of things in the token space. There's just no way around it. We're talking to another project. They want to do a token release. They have a phenomenal game out. And of course, they want us to do this for them. And just, it's just not time. As a matter of fact, if you guys, there's a platform out there called Republic. They are an equity-based crowdfunding platform. If you go look on their site, they have not done a token. They were raising back the end of 2021, 8 million, 10 million, 12 million. They did a few in 2022, raised much smaller amounts. And the last one they did was about 6 months ago, and they raised about $500,000. There's just not a market for the tokens at this point. So, but when there is, one thing I can assure that anybody who did anything in the Meta District will get the amount that they spent on it back in some form in tokens as we begin to bring more projects on. And again, we're working with several other projects. It's just not time right now to put a token out. Okay. When Gen 1 trunk holders have a monthly charge. No charge for the trunks, guys. Those are NFTs. There's no charge to utilize that trunk, to have that stuff in your metaverse or any of that type of stuff. So you paid for that in full. You're going to get you're going to get what was there plus an additional, I think it's going to be a piece of jewelry, like a gold necklace that may have some other features to it. So, all right, let's see. Is there any way to purchase the original trunk through TruBadger? I somehow missed that one. It must have slipped through the cracks for me. Bill, no, we did not purchase any additional trunks at the time. I wish I would have purchased like 20 of them, right? Because it was a great return on it, but we were just not, when it all came around. But we will let you know. The Gen 2 trunks, though, we will get first dibs at that as we start to get the details on that. So we'll make sure everybody knows on the Gen 2. Outside of our community, the only people that will have a ability to get a Gen 2 trunk will be if you hold a Gen 1 trunk. But being part of our community, we'll work on making some stuff happen for you guys. Okay. All right. Let's see. Benefits over business or personal membership. Do we have the ability to use credit card for businesses? Ideas for what you could use business membership for? Yeah. So in the next day or two, guys, you will be able to use a credit card to purchase a business membership. Personal membership is, look, if you're just going to go have fun and there'll be a referral thing and you can recommend people and create revenue by recommending people. The business ones are really for people who say, hey, I want to make money in the metaverse. Maybe you're a designer, right? Clothing designer. You really haven't been able to break out, and have it. You could build your own shop, right? And of course, when it first starts, just like on YouTube, right? So if you were a YouTube person and you were on in the early days, there wasn't a ton of competition. You were able to build up faster, right? There wasn't, a million people with channels. Same thing has happened with all kinds of things. Shopify, Amazon, right? eBay. eBay used to be a more robust. It's bigger than it's ever been before, but there's also more people that are part of that platform. And a lot of people come in eventually, and bigger businesses kind of organize it more and do it. So I believe the advantages in the metaverse is if you have a business. So I don't know if Dawn caught, like, there's a wedding venue. So let's say you do design work, floral design work. You're not going to want some generic bouquet for your digital wedding in the metaverse. You're going to want to, and I actually see it this way, guys. I see people having digital and real world weddings together. Okay, this is where I see it. So you're going to spend $40,000, $50,000 on a wedding. Okay, I just spent over $30,000 for my daughter's wedding. What's another $3,000 to $6,000 at that point? To take it and build a duplicate of that wedding in the metaverse, so then more people can attend the event, right? And be there, and then record it in the real world and in the metaverse world, right? So this is a big area. So people are going to go, hey, this is what my bouquet is going to look like in real life. I want a matching one in the metaverse. I don't want it to be different. I don't want, them to look different. My wedding dress. So designers will begin to take their garments that they designed and they'll create digital versions of it. When you buy the dress, you get the digital version. And then you'll say, wow, I want to go have a digital wedding. Well, some people will want designers to design lighting. All the stuff that's done in a traditional wedding will be done in a digital sense. So you might want to start a wedding coordinator business in the digital world. And so that would be another business that could be done. Tattoo artists, right? Creating original tattoos, being able to, through technology, convert them into NFTs. They're a one-of-a-kind piece of work. And then maybe the tattoo studio says, hey, Corey, your tattoo on your arm is phenomenal. I have some people that would like to buy that for $10. I'll give you a couple dollars of it, right? So these are type of things. An art gallery would be phenomenal. Designers for people's houses, to where, imagine redesigning your house in the metaverse because you have a replica of it, redesigning your house in a metaverse before you spend the money and make sure that you like it. So these are the types of things that would be people that now go to resorts, and you're going to go to a digital version. So I own a resort, let's say in Costa Rica. I don't, that's an example, but let's say I owned a resort in Costa Rica, and I do a digital version of my resort. I have the real version of my resort. But then, somebody I want that's going to walk people around. So I have a business where I've contracted with hundreds of resorts, and you make an appointment with me, pay me $20 or whatever, right? $30. And I walk you through, you tell me, you fill out a little thing that says, this is my trip. And I can walk you through 5 or 6 or 7 resorts. And then when you pick a resort, the resort pays me a commission because I was able to help you make the right decision for the right resort for what you're trying to do. I have 3 kids. I need babysitting, don't need babysitting. You can get to learn the lay of the land while you're there. Anybody who's making, any personalized type of items may have a store in there. Guys, I see shopping as a major thing right now. Can you really shop with other people? So people like to go to you go to the store together, hang out, and do that type of stuff together. Imagine now being able to, in the metaverse, let's say, well, I'll use my wife as an example. She lives here in Arizona. My other daughter lives in Scottsdale. That's not too far. They could meet up. But my other daughter lives in Florida. So they can't go shopping until one of them comes and visits, or vice versa. But imagine them being able to say, hey, we're going to go to the mall. And then my daughter is able to join them. Either they shop from home completely in virtual space, and you've built an avatar. It might not be the one you always walk around with, because maybe the one you walk around with, you want to be a little slimmer, a little bit whatever. But you have one that is exactly like you, right? It matches you. You can, put in there, I gained 5 pounds, and it'll know your body type. And then you can actually pull the clothes off the rack and then put it on your avatar and look and see what it looks like on you. And if you're pants, shirt, whatever. So you're able to go through and design that stuff. Haircuts, you're able to, so there's a lot of different types of businesses and types of things that you'll be able to do in the metaverse. I believe one of the big areas is going to be influencers. We follow the lives, or, people that are into influencers. They follow the life of that influencer. They read their tweets. They watch their funny videos. They do that type of stuff. Imagine somebody who's like a prankster type person, or even a Mr. Beast, who's able to go through the metaverse as an avatar and have more people, like when he does giving away something, right? I'm going to give away a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or something. In the real world, imagine being able to create that in a metaverse, and then the metaverse person who got the Ferrari gets the Ferrari delivered to their door. But here's the key. Thousands of us could stand there and watch it happen as it's happening, as it's being given away, instead of just watching it in video, right? So the experience is going to be much greater in that way. And there'll be, of course, a lot of, one of the ways that I see it is a social media person, an influencer could say, I'm going to go make a digital movie. And they could say, my fans as avatars, I'd like for you guys to be part of my digital movie, and literally write a script, act out, be in the movie, and you are there digitally. So instead of going, oh my God, I want to be an extra in this real world picture, which we have that coming here very soon. Excited about that. But you'll be able to do it in the metaverse, right? And stay at home and be part of it. And it gets filmed and it gets played in a, you know, in a digital theater, or maybe even in a real world theater, who knows, right? So you'll be able to be a bigger part of those type of things. So those are some of the types of businesses. And of course, look, there's businesses right now on Amazon and eBay and people doing things that when it first was mentioned, you would have never thought was even possible. The internet as a whole in the late 90s, to think something like Airbnb or Uber would exist and allow for people to, you know, run their own basically taxi company, right? Picking people up would be, you know, unheard of, right? So that's another way that could be done there. So do you have to activate the membership right away, or can you sit on it until you are ready to use it? You can sit on the membership. You don't have to activate it. I think there's a deadline of a year and a half, 2 years, something like that on it. But you know, again, if you don't activate it, guys, it's not going to get canceled. I know Brian well enough to know that you know, he'll make sure that you're able to activate on any of that type of stuff. So we've already had conversations about refunds and different things like that. You know, the idea is not to harm anybody, it's to put something together. Okay, let's see. Price on Gen 2. Chad, we don't know yet. It'll be a little bit higher. Maybe it's 0.5 ETH. It depends to where ETH is at the time, right? When we get closer to being able to do that. That'll probably be in the next 4 to 6 weeks. That we'll do something on the Gen 2 ones, but we'll have more updates on that in the next week or two. Any status on the Martian movie? So that's Gamer Down. It's not a Martian movie, but it's Gamer Down. I just talked to Austin and asked him about it, and they said they'll have an update over the next few weeks on where that's heading. Austin has just begun to work with another gaming company to start moving some game stuff forward. So they're still swinging the bat, still moving things forward. Guys, I'll go back to this again. In this bear market, it is much more difficult to get something done on a project. The ones that are really doing a lot of stuff, like the Polkadots of the world and stuff like that, they raised tens, hundreds of millions, billions of dollars in the bull market, and now they've got these large stacks of cash sitting there to take them through this. So it's just things are moving, but they're just moving slower than, of course, we want. I'd love for them to move faster. I don't want the bear market to go way faster, but I would like the projects to move faster. But there's only so much you can do, you know, in this point in time. But every project that we've worked on is still moving forward, still making progress on that side of it. So is NSI up and running for everyone? No, it's not. It's in beta, right? So there was 30 or 45 people that were beta testing it. Can someone reach out and see if Deb or Doug can tell us, so we can talk about it before we get off here, on when they're going to start onboarding more people? I know Doug said he was starting to onboard some new people. I just don't know how many, and we'll get you the information there, but it's very close. I would say within a week or two, everybody will be able to get in there and start getting on board and stuff like that. So that'll be up and running. I know 6 weeks from now, it'll be full bore, you know, for people to be able to go in and pay and get all that stuff going. I should have said trunk holders have a monthly fee versus Otherverse memberships. Hope that's right. No, there's no fee for trunk holders at all. So you own the trunk, you own the NFTs. You'll be able to utilize those NFTs in Otherverse for not being a paid member. However, there'll be some restrictions on getting and acquiring more. So there'll be some stuff free members can do. There'll be additional stuff that paid members will do. If you've got something in your trunk and you're a free member, you still will be able to use those items in Otherverse and do it, but you may not be able to get additional ones. So you'll be able to, your other verse trunk will be able to function whether you're a member or not a member. There's just be additional benefits with memberships, okay, on that side of it. All right, let's see. Thanks. Okay, this is probably a bit into the weeds, but is there some oversight to not duplicate business names, etc., or is it a free for all in first to make type thing? There won't be duplicate businesses, right? Because this is a search thing. So like if I'm Peter's, house of cards, right? Let's say there'll only be one Peter's house of cards, right? So it's very much like a website or anything else, right? There'll be a URL, there'll be doors attached to it. So there'll only be one. So that way when they search for it, my business is going to come up. There'll be, of course, just like there is variations of it. You've got, the taco barn, and then you got taco barn, or, just, the taco, or barn taco, right? So there'll be different versions of it, but that's the reason for the platform and the registration is to give it some structure. So it's not a free for all, and give it some organization. So that has been some of the issues, with some of the platforms that have already begun to launch and do things, thinking that a free world, a free, completely open would work out. But the problem is security, KYC, things like that, where, if somebody wants to come in and be free, they can go around the world, they can do all kinds of stuff, but they're not going to be able to interact in the world the way that it would be. And that is part of the reason for the way that it's being structured and the way that it's being put together. Because if people can take advantage of somebody, they will. And it's not a great thing, but it is the way that it is. So the idea is to solve those problems. Look at how the web has gone, anonymousness, all that stuff where, people can go on and say mean things. I pulled up a thing on, it's a thread that's on my Facebook page, and somebody had posted something, said, hey, can you guys give me some advice there? Oh my goodness, how mean people were being. I could not believe it. And I don't know if they knew they were being mean, but they were being just vicious. And I'm like, wow, I wouldn't ask for any advice in that group, because it just, if you went and read the advice, I felt bad, and it wasn't even being given to me, right? I would have hate to have had, I think there was 247 comments, and I would say probably 175, 180 of those were viciously mean. And I'm telling you, if you ask those people person to person, face to face, if they would have given I know some of those people probably would have just been just as rude, right? Because they're just rude people. But 90% of those people that were rude online, if they had to put who they were and were not anonymous, there's no way they would have been that rude. It just would have never happened, right? So again, there's great things. There's times when anonymity is good, but there's also other times when it can be a destructive thing. And finding that balance is what Otherverse is on the course of being able to do from experience, 17 years being in the metaverse and moving that forward. So lots of great stuff happening though, guys. We've got some new projects that we're working on. We wish we could share them, but they've got to get close to completion first. It'll probably be, like I said, third quarter, fourth quarter this year. We'll be sharing a project that we're building out for TruBadger, for Safufied. And then we're working on some other tools and different things like that. So we'll continue to push those forward, continue to work on them every day. I'm hoping I can keep my mouth locked up on those for the next 6 months, right? Well, it's 6 months away. At that point, just so you guys know, once we get it to a stage where we're like, okay, we're within 30 to 60 days, 90 days of launching, we're going to show it to you guys. And at that point, there'll be a 48 to 72 hour vote. Yes, we want to implement it as a TruBadger project. Yes, we want it, or no, or yes or no, we want to enter as a Safufied project. It's still going to be up to the community to vote whether it gets pushed and move forward or if it doesn't. But we're going to get it developed first, because we believe if somebody heard these ideas, they would knock them off because that's how good they are, right? That's how good these projects are, that somebody would copy us. Crypto Gods, I don't, let's see, Dawn's probably working on the video, and she would be the one that would have to give us that update. I'm sure we're pretty close to getting that one finalized. Well, actually, we might have done the TruBadger. I think the only one we have left is, I don't want to say anything that's wrong, so maybe I should wait for Dawn. I believe the only one we have left is the Bitcoin one, which as soon as we get a little bit of time, we'll organize that, and then we'll start doing the giveaways for that, right? Because you couldn't buy the Bitcoin one; it's going to be given away. Did you want to say something?
No, we
Sharon?
do have TruBadger as well. Yep, we still do have TruBadger. Yep.
Oh, we still have it to do?
Do. Yes.
All right, excellent.
And
so
can
we'll
you
wait
please
for
check
Dawn
your
to tell
text?
us.
We got a reply from Deb.
Oh, I can hardly hear you, Sharona.
Oops, sorry.
It's like you're on another planet or in a
Please
very
check
deep
your
hole.
Oh, I
text,
am.
Peter, from Deb.
She's in the metaverse.
Oh, she said for me to
I am.
check my text.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, got an answer from Deb.
I did. It's the same one she sent me. Oh, Deb. Okay. All right. So here's let's
Yeah.
go back to the NSI one. Okay, real quick. Testing is in progress on NSI's subscription system. As I type, and the interaction onboarding system will be tested next week. Looking like end of next week for first users to start onboarding. Beta testers are keeping us busy, and for that we are grateful. So the end of next week, so think about 10 days from now, if you want to get involved and start using NSI, that'll be the time frame when that will happen. All right. The other text is up. Sorry, I entered the wrong phone number. Somebody sent me a text and it was the wrong phone number. So, all right. I don't think you want to hear all my texts because I have a lot of them today. We could spend I could give Dawn another 4 hours just on me reading my texts for the day, if she needs it. Haha, waiting on the final TruBadger motion and lights, then we'll distribute them. So we'll get an update from our motion and light guy to see when that will be finished. So next Tuesday, we'll have a better update. So someone can make a note, a better update on the time frame for the TruBadger one. And then we'll also maybe try to figure out when we could do the giveaways for the Bitcoin one. Okay, so we'll figure those numbers out and get that all figured out. It's has been a minute, so I've got to go back through and review all the documents and stuff on it, and the calls and things like that. So we're going to work on getting that done. Let's see what else we got going on here. I don't know. I haven't looked lately. I believe we're about 40% of the way on the on getting to 1 trillion tokens, to have a giant burn party with over 1 trillion tokens being burned. So that's on that side of it. Let's see. What else do we have, guys? Yeah, Chris, we do have a link for Blockchain Alliance. Somebody can get that out to you if you'd like to be a part of it, what we're doing over there in Blockchain Alliance. They can post that in the chat, I'm sure. Oh, we got another Q&A here. Do we have any photos or video from the Super Bowl party from last year? So, Drew, the Super Bowl party did not take place last year due to a cancellation. However, we will be having another party. I'm waiting on the details for that at the BET awards, and Mary J. Blige will be at the party. We're going to have our one of our brands, Nexus. We sent the logo over there. They're going to have all the details by this coming Friday. And then we're going to also have to make up for what we did for them and to conclude that in late June. And we'll be getting an update out to everybody that was involved in that side of it. So they're going to do that party at the BET. Will be in all the print material, all the stuff, all the pictures, all the photos. We'll get a bunch of photos and stuff. We're going to have some people at the event, at the party. We'll be able to hand out some stuff and things like that. And then shortly after that, at one of the Mary J. Blige concerts as well, we're going to get some type of marketing or advertising there. Might be just on some posters or billboards or something that they're doing there. We'll also get some pictures of that. So that is actually, I just got that confirmed on Friday, but I'm waiting for them to send me the package, and then we'll show that to the community and stuff like that. So we'll get in there, and then that will also take care of the ongoing saga of on that side of it. So we'll have all that stuff put together. We'll make a big deal about it and promote it throughout it. So took a long time to get that figured out and get that straightened out. So can we talk about the Las Vegas thing in April? Is that for, oh, Corey's typing that. So that's probably for Blockchain Alliance for the event that's going to take place. Oh yeah, Josh mentioned it. So we're actually having an event in April, a pre-launch event for Blockchain Alliance here in Arizona, and then there'll be 9 people that are the top promoters to get people to the event, dollar volume wise, and sales of packages, and also recruiting wise. We'll get put on a private jet from Phoenix to Vegas. They'll stay in a luxury suite at the Wynn Hotel, go to a phenomenal dinner, have a private pool party down at the pool, all kinds of different stuff. But they can we'll get more details on that. We'll share it here as well on the call. So Blockchain Alliance is coming on very well, and I'll cover that because Don it needs more time. Guys, Blockchain Alliance is, so Nexus is my heart, right? I believe that in the next bull run, I'm telling you, people are going to flock to it like crazy because we'll have so much stuff going on. We'll grow like crazy. But in this bear market, it's been very hard to engage new people in anything crypto, never mind the Nexus ecosystem, right? So Josh building huge networks and having a Rolodex of people that are just as deep as can be. There's probably 20 people that have made 6- and 7-figure incomes that are going to be building out Blockchain Alliance. They came up with the concept of saying, hey, let's do education. Let's create a payment card system, which, by the way, with what's going on with the banking side, will be more important than ever before, having a bank that's got easy access to crypto on and offline, right? It's supposed to get easier and easier with the stuff that's happening. It might get a little bit more difficult. We're going to have an easy onboarding system from fiat to crypto, from crypto to fiat. Okay. So that's going to be an advantage that we'll be able to both. So you've got that. And then you've got, of course, the connection with Otherverse, being able to be connected there, and other third-party partnerships that'll be put together. Because this is with being a free network, it's hard because somebody can't make a living doing it. So they can't focus. We do, right? 18, 16-hour days, 6-7 days a week, right? For some of us 7, some of us 6, some of us, at least 5 days a week, 12, 14 hours a day, 15 hours a day. But in the networking side, in Blockchain Alliance, there will be major promoters, marketers, people that know how to lead and build because of the paid membership over there, which value will be provided for. Not just here's money for nothing. There'll be value provided. So the end users will get value. The training system that they're putting together is second to none, guys. It is really incredible. The training that they have put together over there for that. And then Doug will be doing a lot of the crypto training, which will be a part of it. We've looked at other training programs that are out there, and we believe it's the absolute best value out there for that. And then, of course, adding Digi and NSI to it, which has a cost anyway, right? That's built into the membership for the original one. About $35 of the membership is built in with Digi and NSI. So what'll happen is there'll be hundreds of leaders, people that know how to build, people that know how to lead, people that will do their own webinars, their own stuff, that will promote it and drive it, not just here in the US, but around the world eventually, right? So starting US, Germany, Blockchain Alliance was completely approved for Germany for doing what we're doing there. So it's approved there, starting to work on other countries to get it approved for all that stuff. So everything is moving in that direction. So we're still going to run Nexus, and we're going to have it here. We're going to say, hey, here's a place where you can come for free. And if you believe a rising tide raises all ships, and you don't think I need to get paid, you know, 10, 20, 40, $50,000 a month to put my time into it, then great. But if you're somebody who goes, man, I'm a networker, I love to build teams, but I need to make 20, 30, $40,000 a month. I got 3 kids, 2 are in college. You know, I got a big house, and I need 20,000 a month to live. Then Blockchain Alliance is a place where you can go promote, sell somebody a product of value, the trainings that are going to be there, the card, the third party business opportunities, the whole support system that will be behind it. They'll go build over there, and they'll build a community of 50, 100,000. The last few things that most of these guys have done have been either multiple hundreds of thousands, as much as more than 1 million people they've built organizations of. So imagine you've got Nexus here, we're doing our thing, we're making things happen, building technology, creating projects, working with other projects. And then you have Blockchain Alliance that goes out and builds a paid community, people that are paying every month to be involved with it, of 1 million people around the world. And we're able to then say, hey, we developed a great project, Nexus community. Oh, this is great. Yeah. Okay. Everybody in Nexus is on board that wants to be. Yes. Okay. Now let's take it to Blockchain Alliance and allow them to share in the success and help us create that success. Now we've married the two together, and the Nexus people are benefiting from the Blockchain Alliance people, and the Blockchain Alliance people are benefiting from the Nexus people. And boom, together we're able to build massive successful projects. Community is commerce. This participatory economy is there. And so, I would have loved to have said, hey, man, a free community. We add, 1 million people to a free community, and we're able to drive it. We were on that path, I think, when the bulls were running. But as soon as the bears came, people just said, I don't know about the crypto thing. I think I'll just sit around and see what happens, right? So we've come up with a solution, I believe, for that, working on a partnership in that area. And I believe it is going to pay massive benefits to the Nexus ecosystem, to the community, and everything else that we built through that partnership, right? The same guys that are involved, that we were able to find Otherverse, and we're working on some other things as well that are a part of that whole thing. And of course, a network of people around the world will be able to connect to major projects, major things that we can be a part of and take advantage of on that side. So that's kind of the relationship there between Blockchain Alliance, Nexus Ecosystem. And so if you're a networker, Blockchain Alliance. If you're not a networker and you want to learn on your own, then Nexus. If you really want to get plugged in and learn a lot, the trainings over there, I don't have time to build the kind of trainings that they're building, right? We're building businesses, we're building brands. So you can get education here. We'll talk about things like the participatory economy and that type of stuff. I believe we do educate people in a way, but it's not a formal education process like what they're building over in Blockchain Alliance, with courses on different things and trainers, people that are very good at teaching people about the entire Web3 space. Okay, about a year ago, you said you had a project on your cell earning money to save your bill. Don't have to talk if it isn't in the works. Actually, so the company that we were working with there ran into some issues with with one of the founders of that. We are going to look at bringing that back and making that a focus. Again, guys, crypto market, right, went into a bear market. And there's a lot of opportunities that just went away immediately, because when it's in a bull run, people are like, crypto, right? Oh, wow, a cell phone. You can just, use it, be somewhere and get your bill paid for. And then all of a sudden you start to get that disconnect because now nobody's paying attention to it. And so then the ability, look, money drives all of this stuff, guys, right? At the core of it, the development side of it is about funding and money. And even when you're talking about community as commerce, and I believe that absolutely 100%, there's not even 0.00001% of doubt of what it is. However, there needs to be a team or a structure that helps organize it, and those people need to pay their bills and do their stuff, right? And so there has to be capital, some type of influx of ongoing capital that comes in, and that takes having a product to sell or something that's ongoing in that pursuit. And in a bear market, that is much, much harder to develop than it is. And that's why so many people are walking away, right, from crypto. I'm not talking about people holding it, because actually it stayed the same. So in January of 2022, if you took the number of people in crypto right now, right at the end of the beginning of this year, it's the same amount of people. It didn't grow and it didn't lose anybody. So I'll make up a number. Let's say it's 5 million people were into crypto in January 2021, which is really, December and part of November really didn't count, right? The prices started going down. The bear market had already come and prices started it's really January, February, March, right through there is when it really started going down. And that went actually all the way down to $600 billion, which was 1/5 of its top where it was at. Since then, projects have been added. It's gone back to $1 trillion now, where it's at. So it's recovered up some and kind of moving along, going up and down and up and down. A matter of fact, today, Bitcoin went back over $500 billion in market cap. I believe it came back down and dropped below that again, but it surpassed that amount one more time. It's just a process, guys. It's the bear market has definitely slowed down the development, slowed down the growth of the community. It's slowed down our resources to develop stuff. However, we're still here and we're still got bells on our toes and we still believe in what we're doing and moving everything forward. So that's the important part. We still have a community that's here, you guys, and then we are still here. So us, and we've continued to build assets that will, when the market is ready, when it's time to launch another token at the time, and something like Otherverse can launch and Muon launches, right? Muon was supposed to launch a year ago, right? Actually, a year and a couple months ago. But again, the same thing, the bear market. We're involved in another token project. They have their project out. It seems to be doing well. We hold a lot of tokens, hundreds of thousands of their tokens. We believe it's going to be, $1 or $2 token. However, because it's in this bear market, if you launch a token right now, it's going to do one thing. It'll pop and then head down. Unless you're something like Blur, right? Where you've become the leader. There's always those exceptions where Blur is a leader in the space. But I will say this, Blur's at a $280 million market cap. If Blur would have done that same thing during a bull market, it would have been a $2 billion, $3 billion market cap, right? Not a few $100 million. So again, there's still an effect there, but they have successfully. And the reason why is they were able to dominate in that space through community is commerce, right? All the NFT communities, the serious players said, we're not on OpenSea anymore. We're going to go over here and play in Blur, and we're going to build a new model that we believe is better instead of a centralized model. So, or centralized working in the decentralized space. So that's where hey, Peter, Dawn has the video ready. Dawn, you going to come up on here, or are you going to stay cognito?
Yeah, I am going to, I'm just going to share my screen. How's that? And
that'll be fine.
Keep things like they are. So
that's why you and Sharona were so quiet. I had my sound turned down.
Yeah.
Sharona, you weren't quiet. You were only quiet on my computer.
No. Yeah, you weren't quiet. It was fine.
Okay.
All right. So this could use some more trimming. So I'm going to skim through parts. It's down to 5 minutes from 2.5 hours. but we're gonna show some highlights. And it's gonna be amazing. I'm just gonna let you talk through it. I'll stop whenever you want me to stop, and I'll fast forward when you want me to fast forward, but definitely got highlights of different rooms and spaces. And I did get the chapel, and I got the tattoo parlor, and I got some cool things. So
Man, Dawn, you're putting a lot of pressure on me to come up with something on the spot, not have it pre-planned. And
hey,
let's see how it
fair
goes.
play.
Let's see how it goes.
All right. This is the place. This is called the Transport Center. I'll start it off. And whenever you spawn in, you spawn in and you go immediately to your closet. That's where you start. And then you can dress your avatar. Everybody gets an avatar. It's really fun. You can customize it. I can't show that at this point. That's been kind of here and there, hit or miss within this video. So I didn't capture that, but it's really, really cool. You can change a lot of features. More and more and more features are coming in other releases and everything. But this is where everybody starts. So just wanted to start off with that.
Perfect. Yep. And of course, you can go from the transport center to the welcome center. The welcome center will have volunteers inside of it that will help walk people through it. It'll have videos that'll explain how to use the system, how to use the browser, how to use your closets. All of that stuff will be here. And this is one of the advantages, really, where Otherverse has a tremendous head start on everybody. They've already got a community of people that have been doing this for 17 years, right? That will come into this metaverse. They've already trained people. They know how to incentivize them and have them be a part of this. So it's been one of the major problems with a lot of the other metaverses are they haven't been able to get that community aspect to come in and help make it a better experience. So if I'm standing and I don't know what to do and somebody walks up to me and says, hey, hi, my name is, Susan, and hi, I'm Peter. Oh yeah, because they can see my name on the top of me. Let me show you what you can do. Let me, what do you like to do? And then we can have that conversation, go through that process, and I can engage in the metaverse. All right, go ahead, Dawn.
Okay, so he started off the tour by, of course, the Welcome Center, showing us that and talking about that for a minute. And then he took us to one of the apartment bedrooms. And I am telling y'all, there were several apartment bedrooms we got to see. They are stunning. I mean, detailed, the closets, the bathrooms, just the rooms themselves, the doors. It was beautiful. So let's just take a look at that.
And this is where, guys, you'll store your NFTs, your things that you want to wear, your wardrobe, those types of things. Have people over, meet in them. You'll be able to limit the amount of people that can come to some apartments in some areas. Those type of things that can be a part of it. So on that. So here it is in a closet. Very cool looking. There's some mirrors. I don't know if Dawn got any shots of the mirrors, but you can see your reflection in the mirror. It is freaking cool. This is actually a glass closet, guys. It doesn't have a door in it. So it goes from the bedroom and it has the glass, and it just looks so cool when you're looking at it and being a part of it. And you can begin to understand, especially when you get into brands, Nike, Armani, whatever it is, when they're making these digital products, you could see those hanging in your thing. And the cool thing, look, for people that love clothes, that love shoes, that love this type of stuff, how do you get to see it? You got to go to their house, or, they do a bit. In this sense, guys, they can replicate their real world stuff in a digital sense and actually have people come over and see their stuff. The same will happen with artwork and other valuable things that we have that we want to show off, right? Part of the reason to collect something is not just my love for it, but my love to share that with other people and want them to experience it. And that's where the metaverse is going to play such an important part in the future when it comes to that type of stuff. All right, go ahead, Dawn.
All right, the next place he took us was the movie theater. And listen, Bryce and I are humongous movie buffs, and he was so excited about this. He actually sat with me it was after the demo it ended. He probably sat with me a good 30 minutes just watching the film that streams live in Otherverse. But this is a movie theater. and it's slow to start. I apologize. It's just Zoom. So here's the seating. You can see it's pretty large. Of course, this is all digital, right? We'll be able to have a bunch of people in here. There's even a balcony. The seats are really nice. They've got those super nice cup holders. I think they're the reclining seats. Really, really jazzy thing. But then here's the screen, which was super cool. And the movies actually stream. Can you imagine? Sitting there watching films.
And not only that, guys, but live events, right? Where you'll be able to have people sit in a theater, have a live person on a Zoom, business meetings in a business setting. This is going to be an incredible part of it. We actually, probably 4 or 5 months ago, maybe it was, we have our Cooler Brands community, and we said, you know what, for one of our calls, let's just watch a movie. And so we actually watched Raiders of the Lost Ark, right? So we actually played the movie. And even though it was kind of cool, we played it through Zoom and did that. It would have been so much better, right? If we could have all had seats, right? Like I'd be pushing Doug over because I want the center best seat. You know, he's got to sit like over there, you know, just hanging out and being at the theater, actually getting some popcorn, right, and virtually, and maybe having some at the house. But it really brings the experience. And I was actually shocked when you look up at the screen. So if you angle it up, it is very, I mean, it's crazy. I couldn't imagine what it's going to look like in VR. It'll look like you're in a theater, right? It just, even though it's on a smaller screen, the screen looks bigger because of the perspective that you're getting from there. And right now the seats were not turned on. You will be able to sit in the seats. I would believe from that perspective, if you put that perspective in there, it's going to be even get greater on the way that you could do that and experience the theater.
Yeah, for sure. I think I have a better view way at the end because Jan and I were still hanging out and playing. So I think
I know.
took another
I
look.
was on with you guys. I was listening.
Oh, okay. So the next thing is the rooftop area. It's really nice. You can see the city, you can see all the lights, you can see all the buildings. So this was kind of fun to do too.
So guys, I want you to think about this too in a virtual sense, and stop the video, Dawn, because they can't see it when I'm talking because
Sure.
you guys saw the piano there. Okay, I want you guys to think about a keyboard where somebody who actually knows how to play the piano can come and sit at that piano and actually play it, right? Not a recording, but somebody sitting there going, you know, a maestro or whatever, and then setting it up where the keyboard is that side of it, and then the piano is playing it. So think in a sense of not just a video game where there's a NPC, a non-player that's sitting there doing it, but an actual somebody who understands and knows how to play the piano is playing the piano. Same thing with other instruments, other bands, of being able to, because technology, right, the advancement of it is eventually anything that's going on in here will be being done by a real person. And that's going to change the experience a little bit. It's not like, oh, wow, great recording. It's going to be live, somebody sitting there playing. Okay, go ahead, Dawn.
Perfect. So we'll just walk around here for a second. I love the dance floors here because as soon as you walk out on them, you immediately start dancing, and you can change the dances here on the right. As you can see, they have a bunch loaded up already, and it's so fun. So that was just neat.
Yeah, I got to tell you too. And if you're like me and you can't dance, it's beautiful. Corey can dance, guys. He's
So
got all
fun.
the moves.
Corey's
Dawn
amazing.
has all the moves, right? They know
Oh,
the
yeah.
wiggle and the shopping cart, and they'll say like the name of the dance and then do it.
Yeah.
Me, I can't remember the name of a dance, right? So, but here I'm like a master dancer. I mean, even in here, guys, I was able to twerk, right? So I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just
No table
whatever it is.
needed.
The moonwalk, right? I mean, just all of those type of things, right? I'm able to do very well in the metaverse. So,
Yes.
and you know, we got to be careful though, guys. If you're in here and Jan's in here, you have to remind him not to walk around in his underwear. Okay.
Well, I
Had
mean,
a
it
little
is
issue with that
Jan.
earlier today. little issue with it, but he did finally figure out how to get
He
dressed.
finally got dressed.
Yeah, wasn't
It
walking
was
around in
pretty
his
fun.
underwear. But that's I came on the call and it's like, Jan, get out of your underwear, right? And no, but we got it resolved, and so we're not going to be showing any footage of Jan in his underwear.
No, that would be inappropriate.
Okay, go ahead, Dawn.
All right, one really cool thing, an enhancement that we hadn't seen yet in other demos was now people can actually sit on stools. So that was really cool to see. I just wanted to show that for a quick second. You can actually just sit down. So that was really neat. Before, everybody was just standing around, right? You couldn't do it. I kept this in there because I wanted to show a close-up of the avatar, how realistic it looks, the hair, the wispiness, you know, the makeup and all that kind of stuff. It's just so realistic still. It's getting better and better and better too as we go. But this is just what they're amazingly known for.
So I
is
went
their
in,
realistic-
Dawn, a little while ago and went to my character,
Mhm.
took off its shirt and went up on a close-up. And we'll have to do this on the next recording that we do.
Uh-huh.
Guys, these characters have pores, right?
Yes,
It's amazing. There's actually blemishes on the skin
yes.
of the characters. And we'll show you guys that in the next update video that we do on that
sure.
side. So go ahead and play this part, Dawn.
Yeah, this was just a small little clip just showing that. All right, this is the fun stuff. You're going to see a better image, but here is what Peter was talking about before. Here is City Center. Okay, this is the concert street. All the stores, you can't really see it right from this view. All the shops and the stores, there's an NFT store, there's a comedy club. All these things are lined up and down this street. Vendors, food carts, all kinds of things. This is the main stage where concerts are going to happen, things are going to happen, things like that. And then back here, this is our apartment building. If you guys have an FNFT, this is your apartment building right here. Everybody will live here. Everybody will have a front view. You'll have a balcony or a sliding glass doors or whatever it may be, and you'll be able to see all of this from your apartment. Everybody will.
You guys, I want you to remember perspective in a digital world, right? It's not the same as if it was in a real world, right? So the views that you'll be able to get, the being able to go in. Another thing that's exciting in a digital world is, let's say you're in this plaza, and let's say it's like Times Square in New Year's Eve, right? You know, they put people in all the bullpens and million people pile into New Times Square. It's really hard to get to know anybody from there. But think about this from a digital perspective. I think you have to stop, Dawn, because if you're playing,
I'm sorry.
YouTube, yeah, the YouTube people can't see if we're talking at the same time.
Gotcha.
So at least that's what Corey says. I don't know. It might be if it's really happening, but that's what he said. I think he was just trying to get me to shut up, right? So you just play the video.
No.
Okay.
Not true.
So here's the perspective, guys. I'm in here and I'm crowded, and I live in Phoenix. Let's say I want to meet people in Phoenix. I'll be able to put in parameters that'll say, put me around people that are in Phoenix, and I can identify them. Or maybe I speak Dutch, right? I don't speak English, and I'm at an event. I will be able to, because of the technology, find other people very easily that also speak Dutch, right? So the neat part about this is, you know, people that are shy, people that, you know, don't have time or maybe can't get out to meet people will be able to go and interact in a much better way. And because of the membership, which is what the package we've been offering, those will make sure that it is somebody who is Dutch, right? Who does speak the language. So it'll be able to get you a much better experience in the space than what other forms and things that are being built out there. So just absolutely, when you start thinking through the process, guys, again, when I first saw the metaverse, I'm like, I went into Decentraland, went into Sandbox and said, this is a bunch of crap. It's never going anywhere. After figuring it out and going through the process and thinking through it and saying, like the internet, does this provide more value in these experiences or less value, or is it just something that sounds neat? In my opinion, today, the metaverse will provide so much more value in so many different ways that I believe the GPS from Citibank is absolutely correct. There will be 3 to 5 billion people using the metaverse in the next 7 or 8 years. By 2030, it will generate trillions of dollars in revenue. And I can't say that I won't be using it, because if an experience of, so we work remotely and all the companies and all the stuff we're doing. I'm here in Phoenix, Dawn's in Mississippi, Corey's in Virginia, Sharona's in Canada, Yana's in California, Rhonda's in Ohio. I don't know what the hell she's doing there, but she's there. All of these people, we're all over the place. But if an experience of working together is more like we're really in an office and it's the most effective way to work there, guess what? Rhonda doesn't get to decide whether she's going to be in the metaverse. Peter, the one, that's in charge right now until they fire me next week, maybe, right? I'm going to say, no, Rhonda, you have to be in the metaverse. Why? Because it's going to make us more productive. This is where I see things driving to. When influencers are building their stuff in the metaverse and people go in and say, oh, I'm watching their YouTube video. And then they go in and they go, wait a minute, I'm not watching the video. I'm part of the video. I'm seeing it actually happen. And they're going to then want to go there all the time and make it happen. And then, of course, as brands and different things start to hold events and do giveaways and all the cool stuff that's going to be done, the rate at which, once it starts, it hasn't started yet, but once it starts and the value creation is there, I believe that it's going to go from 0 to 500 miles an hour, and literally tens and hundreds of millions of people are going to be at it so fast that this is just going to be an exploding economy within this world. And guess what? We are getting prepared to take advantage of it, to be able to be a leader in this space. And that is what is so exciting about. I mean, somebody could have came and probably watched this demo and said, well, it's cool. But no, I don't see the demo you're seeing right now. I see where it will be. I'm looking at this space one day where there are 1 million, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 million people a day coming through this area, and what value that can create, what revenue that can create, and of course, the fortunes that'll be created with that. Okay, go ahead, Dawn. I'm going to be quiet.
Okay. I'm just going to scroll through a little bit, get up there pretty quickly. You can see the screen too is amazing. All the screens are amazing. All the billboards around going to be full of advertisements. They've really thought of everything. And then this beautiful screen here that's going to live stream a lot of entertainment. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then again, it's another dance floor. As soon as you land on it, you immediately start dancing. It's pretty fun. You can change the dances here too. And what I really wanted to show in this section was you can look up, all the avatars can look up and see the fireworks and everything. And you can see better buildings. Oops, I'm sorry, I moved back too far. You can see better buildings. And so this is our apartment, guys. This is the FNFT apartment building. So fun, so exciting. That's a better view of it for you. But yeah, you can see all the fireworks and look how realistic. And the stars. It's just amazing what they can do here.
Another thing that he was talking about today is the characters. So you'll be able to go to a bar, drink virtual drinks. Let's say you had 8 of them. The character knows that you're drinking something that is representing an alcoholic beverage. Speech will start to slow down. Movements will start to slow down. You will be drunk, right? So you'll be your avatar will be drunk. But the cool part about it is there'll be a little button you can press, and now you're not drunk anymore, right? Now, of course, that'd probably be pretty good for some people in real life to have the non-drunk button. And I stole that joke from Brian, but it was good. It was good. It was very good, because we do need to create that in real life, because it makes driving a lot safer, right? And when people get obnoxious at a party, you just press the button and then they're not obnoxious anymore. But these are the types of things, guys, where the virtual world will begin to, and I believe we've mentioned this before, but when you get in a hot tub or you're in someplace that's hot, your character will actually sweat, right? You'll be able to see the perspiration on the character. This is how realistic the experiences are going to be in the metaverse as we move forward and go from there. Okay, go ahead, Dawn.
All right. So we'll get out of this part. This was the wedding chapel, like I was telling you. It's very beautiful. And yes, I totally agree that if you're a florist, if you are a wedding planner, if you're a photographer, if you're dressmakers, if you're any of those things, just think about that opportunity. All the different places here, right? The food trucks, the shops, the stores, comic book store, whatever. So many opportunities to like create products and sell them and earn revenue. It's so exciting to me. This is a very beautiful chapel. So that's the wedding chapel. Then we've got the tattoo parlor, which is super fun. Yanni and I met there. We were deciding on a tattoo. Just really neat.
And by the way, these are pain-free tattoos.
Pain-free, exactly. I love that even more. This is a lakeside villa. It's another one of the bedroom kind of things. It's a place to stay. I'm not sure how it will incorporate, but it is a lakeside villa. You can probably rent it or visit it or whatever, kind of like an Airbnb is what I'm imagining. I'm not real sure, but it's really beautiful and fun. And Jan wanted to hang out on the beanbag with the money tree. I don't know if you saw the money tree and look at his phone, but it was a very beautiful place. And we just wanted to kind of look around there for a minute. And next, okay, this is a better shot of the movie. So we were actually in the back of the theater now and kind of looking up. This was in the front and just looking up at it more. This was the seating again. And then we walked all the way to the back where Jan was. And that was super cool. And then we could see a better view of the front of the theater and the seating and the whole screen. It was really, really neat. That was really fun. This is another bedroom. This is called the castle. Very, very pretty. I mean, those doors, I'm in love with the doors. I'm in love with everything about this room. And you can see just around, just the decor. There's a heart-shaped tub right here. I think I got it. Yeah, there's a heart-shaped tub. And then when you look out the window, you see this enormous castle view. It's really pretty. It'll catch up with me here. There we go. Really stunning, just stunning artwork and architecture and everything. Just really fun. This is actually a cabana. So it's on a beach and it was really beautiful. The water was coming up and then I just did kind of a tour all the way around. You could see the city all around me, just surrounding me, the palm trees, and then that beautiful bed, just that cabana. It was so pretty. I thought that was really neat and fun. And oops, sorry. So I took a look at that for a while. You can see that was like one of my favorite places. I spent a long time there.
You spent a lot of time there.
A good 3 minutes, I think. And then I think this was another. Okay, this is a lounge.
Yeah.
Yep, this was like a club or a lounge. Really beautiful on the inside. Lots of plants, lots of atmosphere and everything. It was really nice. But I really liked the outside because you could walk around. There was like a big area here where you could hang out, umbrellas, really nice. Just beautiful views. I love that river. It was really neat. Just all the scenic aspects that they thought of are just really, really cool. I'm sorry, this has to catch up with me for a minute. It's a little intense. See if I can get on past that. It'll catch up. So yeah, just really, really neat all the way around. All right, this is the casino. This was kind of cool. Lots of slot machines. In the back are a bunch of tables. You can't see those from here, from this view, but I did walk all the way around and there were a bunch of card tables. So I could just imagine, like we were in Vegas and just all hanging out and sitting at the tables and playing cards. It would just be
Even
fun.
roulette board.
Yeah, lots of things. All right. This again is just back to the end. It's back to the Welcome Center, and we were headed out. That's it.
All right, guys. So, and of course, guys, you know, this is kind of a little stop motion, right? Going through the whole
Yeah.
thing. It's fluid. It moves beautifully. The characters move like real people, right?
Yes.
Not the jerkiness or that, any of that type of stuff. And this is only going to continue to improve from here. Eventually, we'll have some events with 20, 30, 40, 50 people that we'll be able to get some footage on. But very excited about where it's headed to and what's going on. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I don't think that's been, you know, any of this has been shown to anybody outside. This was just something that we were able to put together for the community and to be able to show you guys, you know, what we're doing. And you get to, you know, that was our day today. We spent time in the metaverse, right? Running around and doing things and experiencing that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that.
All right. I don't see any more questions. Got a
No.
lot of thank you and great job tonight. Thank you for talking about so many things. I do have some follow-up things that I will take care of, like finding out how quickly the TruBadger NFT will be done. I know they're almost done. They were very close last time I checked on them. And then we'll figure out, of course, the BNB one. I'm sorry, the Bitcoin one. Who will get that and all that.
Yeah.
That's in the works. And
We'll probably do that on a burn party where we'll give them away at that time. We'll let you guys know whether it'll be the next one or the one after that. We'll do the drawing, put everybody's name on a board or, you know, wallet address, whatever we have, or NFT number, however we'll do it. We'll get that figured out, put it on there, spin it, and
yeah.
get that figured out.
Yeah, and we'll figure out, of course. I did have questions I heard as I was editing about the Safified and when other things can be put in the safe. I'll definitely follow up with Reza on that. I know it is in the works. We are getting more chains there. We are going to be able to put NFTs there. Of course, we've got to get Polygon there first before we can do that. So we're doing that. We may also cross-chain our NFTs to something else so we can put them in there quicker. We'll just figure all that out and navigate that. But I'll find out from Reza how close he thinks. He is really tied up on the Muon token. He's helping with that. And I know they're getting close to launching. So they are very excited. Of course, it is still the bear market. So they are kind of, you know, navigating that bear market and waiting and things like that, just like everybody else is. But they are still working on it behind the scenes. And we are working on other NFTs, like Peter said. So he's a little busy with a lot of different things, but those are things that are still on the plate. So we'll find out where they are, how quickly we can get those implemented. I know that would be real exciting. I'd love to get my NFTs into Safified. I'm also working with him on Utopia 42, which is another metaverse. We're building our city center of our own there so everybody can come in. There have been advancements to Utopia 42, so I'll try to get a list of what those are. I know that people, if you're all in there together, like our community, we can all communicate with each other. So I'd like to see that. I want to understand how that works so we can share that. But we'll get some updates on that and figure out where that is. We're also going to have our museum there where you can put all your NFTs in Utopia 42. So that'll be super fun. And there'll be some 3D elements to them. So I know he's working on that too. So he's working on a lot of things for us, really good things.
All right. Very, very good. If that's it, then I think that's our evening.
Okay. Well, love y'all. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Very, 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 very fun. Dawn, thanks for putting that video together and
Oh, you're welcome. I'm
getting
sorry that
it
took so
edited
long.
in very short time.
Oh, it felt like it took forever.
Yeah,
But
I
thank
love it. This was a fun AMA because Peter, you answered a lot of questions and everybody's very appreciative and well, I'm happy to have this chat with y'all. So We will be back next week at the same time. So it's 10 o'clock here in Ohio. And I'll tell you later what I'm doing here, Peter. You think I wasn't listening? I was listening. You're funny. So same time slot, 10 o'clock Eastern, which is whatever, 7. Yeah. 7 o'clock Pacific. And we'll give you some updates as we've spoken about, and who knows what else we'll have under our up our sleeves. So
it was funny, Rhonda. Like, I didn't say it thinking you weren't there. I had somebody yesterday, I said something, they said, I can hear you. I said, I didn't whisper it. So of course you were supposed to hear it, right?
I know.
I didn't say it under my breath. I said it out loud.
I know, but I do love the fact that you blamed Corey for the comment about trying to keep you quiet while Don was showing, because it was actually me who typed that.
Right.
But we'll blame it on Corey. I like
Blame it on Corey. All right,
well, he wasn't here.
All right,
So.
we'll see you all next week, guys. Thanks much. Love
thank you.
and appreciate